dad shaved my head in the middle of high school. He shaved it.
What?
Yeah, yeah. And he took all my clothes, everything, all my shoes, my watch, wallet.
What?
Everything, he threw it in the trash.
He gave you your first ego death.
Literally.
Yo, Pops, what did you do for your Pops to do that, man? Yo, Pops took all your stuff and threw it in the trash? Cut your hair off? Cutting your hair off is one thing. That's like normal. Some parents, I know parents that be doing that. But he took all your stuff and threw it in the trash, though? The dirty trash can? Twin.
He was trying to embarrass me.
He did.
No.
Not try.
We also focus on the rebranding, and that's why we have obviously the mood board. I think it would be cool if people are watching that happen in real time, and they get to see the steps that we take each week, either adding to this or different things that we do to like really change the aesthetic of the brand and the page, etc. I feel like it'd be cool to like introduce personal objectives as well. So it's like your new objective is gonna be, yo, all I want to do is design.
Yeah.
Noel's new objective should be, yo, like I really want to like really be in this creative space of like doing videos for not just us, but like I want to take it a little further so people get to see him and his mic'd up journey, and me, like obviously still with music. I think if we put out those objectives, that like we'll have buy-in, and then people like the context that you always mention. I'm just like, oh, people will think it's funny.
I hope this isn't on my screen. Oh shoot, hold on. I did
Those
not mean it
objectives
is.
running at the same time will bring the content, because maybe next week it's gonna be after Noel. It's like vulnerable with the camera, let him know, yo, man, I just like this is what I'm doing now. Just move. I just did this. Now I'm gonna be doing this.
Can I skip this?
How we roll things out, what we like, the psychology of the buyer, that's gonna shape maybe how we roll things out, what we roll out.
I mean, this nigga talking about his music career, and I don't even know who this is. I ain't even trying to hate or nothing, you know what I'm saying? But dang, I'm
Yeah, facts.
That's really all it is, right?
That would be cool for them to pick your brain or to see the inside of your brain, where it's like the approach and how we're gonna go about doing things differently this way.
Yeah. Collaboration for sure. I think this year we should definitely collab with another brand. Outreach, like really dig our roots into Dallas.
these niggas are legit.
Like archive everything on the page.
They tryna.
What we're posting first and second. I think one should be a reel.
I think we need to have like stuff on the page. We need to already start the rebrand a little bit, and then
take everything off. Yeah, I think it's gonna be those creative videos that we talked about. Just sinking into like super interpretive content, to where there might be no dialogue, there might be no story that we're going to tell.
It sound like me when I'm talking to my brand manager. I ain't gonna lie.
This is building a new
These niggas legit. They writing this junk down and everything.
or everything that we've done.
people are gonna be lost, and it's like, what's going on?
Yeah. Things need to just really mesh together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everything.
You can't change everything else, and then we still have happy pics of like everything has to, like fit pics should look like they belong on that board. That's what they should feel like, and that's why I think it's important to build that out, so it's like everything is interchangeable. If we take a fit pic and we put it on that board, it should be like that was just a picture that we put on the board. That's how we'll know. That's how we'll know if we're doing a good job or not. Because if everything is cohesive, it's all interchangeable, and that will become our style.
Literally, that'll be like the easiest way to tell.
Yeah.
Like things that we do. Can we throw this on the
Can we
board?
put this on the board? No, then we can't put it out. That'll influence what pieces you want to release as well. Because it's like if something is like cool, but like we're like trying to rebrand and it doesn't fit it, it's like, okay, maybe we should wait on that. Cool, let's put this out first. Put this out first. Fits the dark street grudge. Like that's gonna really help. You get on the page, you see fly shit, you see bitches, you see cigarettes, you see cigars.
We need to establish our own lane.
Cigarettes, man.
Looking over and being like, okay, what's lit? What's lit? It's like,
Yeah. We're lit.
we're lit.
Yeah.
Typically, when I create something, it's with the intentions that it's gonna get produced. Very rarely do we really just scrap shit.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just start sending in so much shit that we'll get 100 pieces in, and of those 100,
My bad. My jump wasn't full screen.
like fucking bad.
Quiet grudge, controlled rage. That feels cool.
Cortisol control.
Cortisol control. That feels good.
Controlled rage. That's cool.
Yeah.
I even like that saying.
That's cool. Surgical. I remember everything. What dies? Overly grateful captions, motivational speeches, trust the process energy, smiling for approval. What replaces it? Silence, fragments, aftermath, proof. Visuals need to feel like evidence, not content. Black, deep reds, grain, dirty whites, low saturation,
Wait, hold on.
motion blur, handheld, imperfect framing, night versus day. You're watching someone after something happened. Incredibly tough.
We don't have to be direct. All right, y'all. So what we're gonna do to just see what's going on. Draw your own conclusions. Like, if we want to be artists and we're creating an audience in our image, let's elicit artistry from them. Like, let's not tell them.
I kind of like what they doing.
I think like the most important
Like,
thing.
I kind of like what they doing, but at the same time, it's like 40 minutes though for how to market your clothing brand. We already not like at the plot, you know what I'm saying? So I am gonna skip this because I do want to just know what they talking about with the plot. Like, this is cool and all, but
Yeah, we can. Gang, we're here on.
so they sold out, I'm guessing. They got a warehouse and everything. Like, this is no hate to them, but I am trying to get to the bread and butter. Okay, time for some game. Okay,
We're here on
boom.
Episode 5. We're gonna talk a lot about marketing, which I feel like is a very important pillar of your brand for various reasons that we'll get into here shortly. Marketing is what's gonna take you to the next level. So if you're here, you know that we're known for our marketing a lot more than we are our clothes. The evidence kind of speaks for itself. A lot of people who find their way to our page is usually from some sort of marketing push that we have, whether it's a video that we put together or whether it's some type of theme or photos that we drop, or sometimes it's our ads. As you guys build your team, it's not about finding the most talented people. It's never about that. It's never about finding the most talented graphic designer and the most talented videographer. Like, yes, you want people who are relatively good. You don't want people who are meat, want people who suck, but it's not always about the individual person. It's about how the team comes together. And that's one thing that we have here that's, we never take it for granted. We have a solid team. It's rare, right? I can describe something I see in my head, and before I finish the sentence, No Way already understands what I'm saying. He'll finish the sentence, and then Senna will hear us. He already knows he can see it in his head as well. So you want people who are like-minded and creative, and they're not trapped in the bounds of within coloring within the lines, right? They know how to get creative. They have some type of background and anything that like brings art, really. Like I said, it's not about bringing the most talented people. It's about the way you execute an idea. I think you guys have seen it firsthand if you look through a lot of these videos. We're run and gun legends. We've gotten this far because of that, right? We've gotten this far because we all work together cohesively, and we understand that, like, if we all understand each other and someone has a good idea, we can execute that idea, and 9 times out of 10, it's not only executed well, it's gonna have great results. But I'm not saying that's for you to be a run and gun champion. We do think out a lot of ideas, right? Maybe the actual execution on the day of might have a little bit of freestyle. That doesn't mean there's no structure in it. It means that we're adaptable. That's what our run and gun means. A run and gun doesn't mean, yo, we're just gonna freestyle and figure it out because we don't know what we're doing. No, a run and gun means that we understand each other and we understand the objective, and we'll know that we'll figure out a way to get there. I think that a lot of people...
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is hard to achieve. Like, what he's saying is like, he's like saying, okay, boom, you want to have a team where y'all all can come together, and like you have, you know, the brand owner, whoever the brand owner is, they take their idea and they give it to everyone, and then everyone kind of chip in and then kind of come together with it. You know what I'm saying? Put their skills together. And then he's saying like about, you know, kind of like people that that like they'll just go with the flow. I'll be doing that. But it's harder to really come as a team, especially if you with people that don't take you seriously. Like if you first start in your clothing brand, like let's say like me, you first start your joint, you doing like your first drop, like the people that you get that's like, you know what I'm saying, they really not gonna take you serious unless you like already made a name for yourself, if that makes sense. So I see what he's saying, but you know, we do gotta remember it's gonna be hard to build that type of connection with people, cause like a lot of folks will not take you serious. Like a lot of models will not take you serious. A lot of video, like they really won't. Like it sounds crazy, but that's just how it is. But let me play the joint.
Things that we say and see some of the things we do and feel like, oh, okay, well, it's simple. I can do it just like that as well. No, we've been doing this for like 4 years. We understand what it takes to get to any objective that we have or we're trying to get to. Now, the most important part of all of this is going to be action. I think I said this in the last video. The most successful brands, not even just brands. Actually, I'm going to make this very general. Like the most successful people know how to take their ideas from just a thought to fruition, right? They know how to take that idea that they had and capitalize and take it all the way into an action, all the way to results. How successful you are is gonna come down to how short you can make the time between you having the idea and you actually executing the idea. I always think to myself, and I say this to my friends, like, yo, like having the idea is only like that's a small part of it. You need to execute as fast as you can because that's when you're gonna know what the right answer was. You're always gonna find out the right answer, always. If I'm making a decision, should I make this video? After I make that video, I'm gonna watch the video and be like, yeah, this shit sucked. I shouldn't have made it. You got your answer. Or I make the video and I'm, yo, this is lit. I got my answer. You gotta do things and then you will find out the answer after you've done it.
That's true.
You do it, the faster you know what the answer is, no matter what. The late, great Michael Jackson, if you guys don't know, he had like a long rivalry with Prince. The interview was about his work ethic and like why he doesn't sleep or whatever he does. He explained that, yo, like as soon as I get an idea, I gotta immediately like make it happen, because if I don't make it happen, God is gonna give the idea that I have, he's gonna go give it to Prince.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, y'all not hearing them, bro. Y'all not hearing them, because that right there is what separates niggas who's just doing stuff and niggas who's great. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of niggas, and this happens to me so many times, I can't tell y'all how many times, like on different platforms doing different things, whether I'm playing a game, whatever it is, where I have an idea, something that a lot of people either aren't doing or I've never seen like someone else do. And because I'm sitting there planning out, oh, I'm gonna do this, this, and this first, the moment I do all that, then it's like, oh shoot, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, what I'm doing right now with this kick, like this is my first kick stream, you know what I'm saying? Doing this little clothing brand, reacting to these clothing brand videos. I don't see too many people reacting to these type of videos or whatever. But I'm doing it because people are not doing it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to wait. Instead, I'm taking action. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you have an idea, man, make sure you the person to take at the moment, take action. Even if you don't got everything set, take action. You see an event going on and you want to go promote your color brand, you may only have one piece, so what? Go take action. You know what I'm saying? When at ASWM, the streetwear fashion, the fashion show, the ASWM fashion show, Atlanta Streetwear Market Fashion Show, I only had one piece. I only had this drop, my first drop. I had a couple shirts on me, I had my models. And originally my plan was, before that, is I wanted to be a vendor. I wanted to actually have a couple pieces out, go there, be a vendor, sell clothes. But of course I just started. I didn't have all that budget, so I only was able to drop one thing. And I didn't even have my bulk, you know what I'm saying? So I couldn't even be a vendor, sell out my shirt, you know what I'm saying? But instead, what I did was I said, well, I'm still gonna go, you know what I'm saying? So I went, and instead I took the shirts I had and I just asked people, hey, what you think about the shirt, this and that. I gave my shirts out to some of like the bigger, like the models, stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So just because you take action on some and you may not have the answer to everything, you know, you may not have it set up how you want it to be, you can always find a way to set it up another way where it benefits you, you know what I'm saying? And then next year when the opportunity come again and you do have your first plan, like you can execute your first plan, then it's great after that, you know what I'm saying? It's great after that. But yeah, you know, y'all really gotta hear what he's saying though. This is real game right here.
Nothing in this world. There's nothing new in this sun. Ideas that you have are not copyrighted by you. They're not trademarked in your brain. It doesn't matter. If I have an idea today, that shit can pop up in somebody else's mind the very next day. That's how shit works. That's why you need to be a good steward, right? You take the ideas that you get and you need to execute. Marketing is only as difficult as you make it to be. Execution is way more important than the idea in itself. There's a lot of ideas that we've had over the years that we did not execute. We had a series that we wanted to do. We had I can think of 10 different ideas that we had that we actually didn't do. We actually didn't capitalize on it. We just said, maybe we'll do it later, or maybe we'll find a better time.
Yeah. Huh? Hold on.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. Here's a couple reasons why marketing matters more than you think. Like I said, all of this is powered by execution, but if you have a good product and you have no marketing, nobody gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck because no one sees it. I said this in the last video, but this bitch ass nigga cropped it out. Back in the day, if you had a little mom and pop shop in the middle of absolutely nowhere, if you had 100 to 200 people come to your store in one day, in 1 second, they're at your door as soon as you open up the shop, oh my God, bro, business would be fucking booming. What are you talking about? Now, with social media, with ads, with websites, you can have 200 people hit your site, even as a small brand, in 1 day, in 1 hour. That's insane. I did call you a bitch ass nigga for taking it out. I don't. Okay, you're gonna crop this one out?
No, because right now you're using it as a clear example for something.
It was a clear example last time too.
Yeah.
These niggas playing around. These niggas playing around.
Chops it up. Takes out all the good analogies.
If I didn't chop that shit up, nigga, you would have been chopped.
These niggas playing around.
If you have a good product and no marketing, nobody gives a fuck because of the fact that nobody sees it. Back in the day, if you had 200 people come to your mom and pop shop in the middle of fucking nowhere, that shit is fucking lit. You'll be excited. With the power of social media, with the power of ads, with the power of online businesses, you can have 200 people in a day, even in a week, visit your online store. Those are eyes. Eyes are important. Everything in this world is all about eyes. The Super Bowl, why is fucking one fucking ad on a commercial break millions of dollars? It's all about eyes. It's about people viewing your product, viewing your business. So if you have a good product and nobody sees it, that shit doesn't fucking matter. If you have a bad product and you have bad marketing, go home. Cook. If you had a bad product and good marketing, you can still sell shit. And this is no shade to people I see in the industry. I see some terrible brands. And they're doing great. Why? Because they have good marketing. Marketing is like
you selling your product. If you can sell your product, it doesn't matter how good or bad that product is to a certain degree. Attention is currency. The more attention you can garner, the more you can convert that to sales. How good the product is going to translate to the percentage of sales that you're making, right? So if you're getting 100 people on the site and 10 people buy, you got a 10% conversion rate, right? Maybe your product is decent, right? Now, if you made the hardest piece of all time and out of 100 people that come and go look at your website, 100 views, you get 50 people who buy, 50%. That means that product you're pushing pretty fucking good. So that's one way you can kind of like figure out, okay, for how many people are coming to my site, how many people am I selling? Again, marketing is the selling. So you get to look back and you say that video performed this way. A lot of times when we're sitting down and we're brainstorming ideas, sometimes, you know, other people will say, oh, I love this video that you did, or I love this video that y'all posted, or I love whatever. What we do after a video, especially if a video is promoting a particular drop, we go back and we look at the numbers of total visits, total sales, and we figure out, was this video effective? Was it the style that worked or didn't work? Did the video perform well but did not convert into sales? Or did the video not perform well but convert into sales? Why is that? Did we feature the product better? Or was the product not really focused on, but it was really more the brand identity, right? Like what was pushed in this video that resulted in the sales? Those are things you gotta think about. I just mentioned something just now that I kind of want to talk about a little bit. Brand identity. That's why, if you remember on the first or second episode, whenever Sana was talking about, you know, choosing a name, choosing like the type of person you want to put in your clothes. When you have an identity, when you have an aesthetic, when you have direction, that's going to help you in how you market. That's going to tell you the type of videos you can or can't do, the type of pictures you can or can't post. Because again, you are selling to that person that you described in episode 1, right? So why would you be marketing in a way that wouldn't appeal to that person? You get me? That's why it's really important in those foundational steps that you guys figure out, who are you selling to? Who is your target audience? Who is your client? Then that way you figure out how to sell them.
Yeah, guys, it's very important. You gotta know who you're selling to. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't make, you know, that's like saying, like, if you make them emo type clothes, you can't be trying to sell that to a hood nigga. You know what I'm saying? I mean, some folks like that, they gonna like it, but majority ain't. Like, you can't be trying to sell emo clothes and sell it in the treacherous parts of Memphis or Missouri or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something you gotta sell somewhere else where that scene is big. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know, yeah, you do gotta know who your target audience is. And you only know that by building a brand identity. Is your junk more emo like? Would you say your junk is more like for rappers to be wearing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. When you find out, you know what I'm saying? I like to do it like this. I like, what I like to do is I take my clothes and I say, okay, which famous person would wear my clothes? Like, and I really do an artist, because if you do an artist, that's easier. You know what I'm saying? And let's say, okay, I say NBA YoungBoy would wear my clothes. Then now I gotta look at NBA YoungBoy's fan base. Who are his fan base? And those are the people I'm selling to. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I were to say, Deftones would most likely wear my brand, then that's when you gotta say, okay, those are the type of people I'm gonna sell to. Ken Carson or or Cardi, then I gotta sell to those, his fans, those people. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of just how you gotta think of it. You gotta think, okay, boom, what artist would wear my stuff, and then you think about the fan base, and that's the people you're selling to. So whatever places they're at, you know what I'm saying, you can look up stats and all that, because they had, and it's funny, actually, it's actually cool, because if you were to, let's say, do it that way with the artists, you can literally, like, there's stats that tell artists specifically where, you know, the most, like, in specific states and all that, where the most people listen. So let's say you do listen to Ken Carson, and you can find the data of how many people in what state listens to Ken Carson, if you make that type of aesthetic clothes and all that, then you can target that state, that area. You know, things like that is how you can, you know what I'm saying, really target, like make a real target audience. But yeah.
I don't remember if this nigga cut it out the last one, because that nigga just be cutting shit. I gave you guys some context that before this, I did sales. I did millions of dollars worth of sales, sold a bunch of products, managed a bunch of teams, so on and so forth. One thing that we always did, in order to sell to a client, we had to become the client, right? So in my first 10 minutes of sitting, talking to this client, I'm not only mirroring them, I'm matching everything that they say, right? Not in a weird fucking way, but I'm getting a read of who this person is, how they think, and I'm trying to quickly adapt to be something that's palatable with them, so that by the time I'm saying, hey, I ran the numbers and this is gonna be 70 bands, them niggas are like, I trust him, right? I figure out who I'm selling to figure out how to sell to them. Same thing with you guys. You're figuring out how to sell to them. You just make it easier that way. I'm sure you guys have noticed, not just in us, there are other brands, like, and some people do it better than us. Like, you want to stray away from always looking like you're just selling something. You want to look like you are telling stories. Telling stories is gonna go a lot further than just selling clothes. Remember last time I gave you the analogy of, if you're a drug dealer, right? You're trying to have a combination of people who are new customers, people who are coming back, returning customers, and then your fiends who they absolutely just need you. You got to think about the best dealers, right? You know, the best dealers are not sitting on the corner. The best dealers are in a suit and tie. The best dealers, you don't even know. The best dealers are dealing with, you know, clientele that's way above, you know, the average person. It's because they get to a point that they start selling an experience. Think, what the fuck I'm talking about? You got to keep in mind, this is social media. This is online, right? People are being sold everywhere they go. You get on YouTube, ad. You get on TikTok, scroll, ad. You get on fucking Instagram, ad. You can't go through 2 stories without seeing an ad. Some people are always getting sold. So guess what? There's an aversion to that. They see an ad that's obvious, they scroll past it. You need to make what you create appealing, so that in the first few seconds that someone sees it, they'll stop, read it, engage with it, so on and so forth. Tell stories in a cinematic way, right? And I know a lot of you guys might not be directly into videography or into content, but these are the things you're gonna learn, or you're gonna have to partner with someone to help you bring these things to life. Cinematic doesn't always mean expensive. We've shot some incredibly cool shit on our iPhones. We've shot some incredibly terrible things on a F6. It's really what you make it. I see a lot of brands that will invest a little bit too early. They prematurely get the best camera on the market. They'll prematurely get the best tools they can to make videos or to make whatever. And like, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing. Like, you should get these things and aspire to get these things and make your quality better. But if you're not doing it without sharpening your skills, it's a fucking point. Like I said, how successful you're gonna be is gonna come down to how fast you can execute your ideas. If you wait until you have the perfect budget, you're gonna fuck up. You're never gonna get shit done. If you wait till you have the perfect idea and how you're gonna execute it, you're gonna fuck up. You wanna make sure that you create with what you have. If you have a constraint, it's more likely that you're gonna have to force yourself to be creative rather than if you had all the tools in the world. But when you have rules that you have to follow, when you have a limited amount of equipment, when you have a limited amount of bodies, you're gonna figure out how to make your shit come to life in a unique, creative way. And that's what you need. You need that little bit of razzle dazzle in the content to make sure that people fuck with it. Again,
that is so true. And the thing is, even like, you know, when I was 16 years old, that's when I wanted to do YouTube at first, you know what I'm saying? And I told my parents, you know, yeah, I want to do YouTube. I don't even want to go to college, none of that. And that was like, are you crazy? You know what I'm saying? And I had a little laptop. I had a laptop from like 2012. Horrible laptop. At that time, I'm in high school, you know, 16, and I had a laptop from 2012, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was old. That laptop from like middle school type beat, you know what I'm saying? And that laptop, I used to edit on a video, I forgot what it's called. Video Shot, something like that. It's some off-brand platform. And every time I edited, sometimes it would crash, delete everything I did, It would lag up really bad when I try to preview. It lagged up really bad when I was like trying to cut, the on the time when I was on the timeline trying to cut the video and all that. It was really bad. I used to like edit literally like 12 hours straight on that laptop, just staying on it. I get my food, go back on the laptop, edit, making videos, and I'm getting 2 people watching every time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, dang, bro, I wish I had a PC. Dang, I wish I had it. Dang, I wish, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm saying is because now I look at the other side, right? Boom. I grind, I get to around 1,000 and even went up to 16,000. I ended up losing my channel, but the whole point is I grinded from nothing. I had got a new laptop at that time, and I was going crazy. A lot of people don't realize that when you start off with no equipment and you work your way up, grinding, once you get that equipment, you're going to be a beast. Like right now, I have a $3,000 PC, 2 monitors, and I paid for it myself. You know what I'm saying? And all, I got all this stuff. And I'm going crazy with the clothing brands. Did my little clothing brand. Now I'm streaming. You know what I'm saying? I am trying to go crazy. Because before I had that, this is the type of stuff I was trying to do. When I first started, and this clothing brand ain't even the first time I started a clothing brand. I started a clothing brand years ago, back in like 2019, 2020. I had around 10 to 11 brands I made that failed. 10 to 11 brands. And I barely had any equipment. Even this clothing brand, I really barely have any, capital and all that to work with. But I'm still grinding. You just gotta grind. And I have friends, who have some people. I know some people who got everything and still don't want to grind. You know what I'm saying? So just because you have it, don't mean you're gonna do it. So that's why when you don't have it, you should be more inclined to grind, because then once you get it, you're going to be up there. You know what I'm saying?
Force creativity. Run and gun does not mean sloppy. It just means adaptable. It means that you figure out a way to make it happen and you can adapt. Simple setups, good locations, really all it comes down to. This world always rewards speed. It's not about perfection. How fast you can do this. Now, I'm not saying that means put a bunch of sloppy shit together. No, you need to do things efficiently, right? If you remember what I said last week, when you make your goals, you work backwards, right? I want to accomplish this. How do I do that? I need to do these things to do that. All right, this is what I need to accomplish in the year, in the quarter, in the month, in the week. This is what I need to do today, right? That's how you need to break things down. So you need to work with speed. I do want to say there are 5 things that need to happen the week that you drop, right? The first thing that needs to happen is that you need to take good lay flats, drop that. Second, you need to have good fit pics. It's really important that you guys do a good job getting the right people in your clothes, right? Like I said, you want to create a world on your page. You want to make sure that when people come to your page, there's not only an aesthetic, there's an identity. Cool, we got all that checked off. You need to make sure that when you are getting fit pics, you need to make sure that also fits in the vibe. Part of that is making sure that you send your products to fashion influencers, right? I don't think that we've talked about that before. That is important. You need to, when you are ordering either your samples or when you get your bulk or whatever, you allot some of the pieces to go to people that you either give them your pieces and they post it for free, or sometimes you ask them what their rate is, so on and so forth, right? You need to get your clothes to people who can dress up your clothes better than you, or people who can put your clothes on in a way that like shows even more depth or even more versatility. That is important. So set aside a budget for that. Set aside an X amount of pieces for that, and you need to make sure you go find people who have the style or have the ability to fit the style that is on your page, so that when you send those out and you get that taken and they either send you the products back or you let them keep it, whichever. When they do that, when you get those pictures and you put them on your page, they're cohesive. So first thing I said was lay flats need to happen. Second thing is you need to have fit pics. It would be nice if it was someone outside of you. and your team. 3, you need to have some type of TikTok push, right? Hey, my name is Knox. We run Stud. We're gonna have a drop this Saturday. I want to show you some of the pieces that we're releasing. That is a good habit to have. Anytime you get new pieces, hey, yo, what's up? New pieces just dropped down. This is what we have. We're gonna release this on this time, whatever. You need to treat your TikTok or your Instagram, whatever that you post on your page, you need to treat that like almost like a diary. You want to treat that as that's where you update the people about the design. When you update people about the behind the scenes, how that happens. That's good practice. Number 4, some type of creative video. So you're gonna get on Instagram, you're gonna try to create something that you can post that can somehow crack into the algorithm, that can get that reel into more viewers, more attention, eyes. Because again, like I said, attention is your currency. Very lastly, you run your ads, right? A lot of people, you're gonna do things organically, that's okay. But there's gonna be some group of you people who are gonna take things to the next level and run ads. You need to allot X amount of money to run your ads to see a certain amount of people. And that's when conversions matter. That's when you'll know, do I have a hit piece or do I not have a hit piece? How many people are clicking this piece? So on and so forth. Whoever runs your ads, talk to them. They know a lot more about it. That's all I got for you guys. I don't know how many classes we got left. I feel like there's been a lot of game in the last few episodes. Like I said, we'll be picking people soon. So you guys just have all your ducks in a row so we can swoop in, help you guys with some marketing, help you guys with some content, and obviously, pay for you guys shit and get the shit going. I do want to say y'all had some really good answers last time, and some of y'all's answers was ass. Guess you'll never know who's who.
Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it there because the rest is really just a blog, which I mean, it's cool and all, but I really just wanted to watch, for the game, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and end stream here. I'm gonna get some sleep. I stayed up literally all night. But make sure you boys, like, follow, all that, you know what I'm saying? I'm finna end this joint. Appreciate y'all for watching, man. And peace.